Hey everyone, and welcome to Disney WTF, where we talk about what's the fuss about Disney. We are on episode 20.
20.
And for those that don't know us by now, we're a Disney couple. One of us is a Disney fanatic, and one of us just doesn't get it. But we've somehow made a way to make this relationship work.
We certainly have. Through good times, bad, sunny weather, bad weather.
Bad weather. We are in trouble.
Speaking of bad weather,
Irma.
I've got headlines.
Irma is about to come to South Florida and mess everything up.
Yeah, so...
Irma is about to play Duck, Duck, Goose with the entire East Coast.
Yeah, I think, Richie, tell me again what you said earlier about the categories and hurricanes and South Floridians.
Oh, that...
Because that was a good point.
Well, I think it's Floridians in general. Like, Floridians, it becomes an inconvenience to us only when a hurricane category 3 or higher is a problem. Like anything other than like less, like a 2 or 1, like, oh, it's all right, we'll be fine.
We have to go to work anyway.
Yeah,
so
we'll still have to
fine.
work and stuff. Yeah, but if it's a category 3 or above, that's when like we have to like consider changing stuff around.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fairly stressed out. Like, you saw me in my full stress mode. Well, definitely in the last 24 hours.
You're.
We went to our local Target last night. I was like, oh yeah, we'll be ahead of the crowd, get some water, we can get some bread, peanut butter. There's no bread, no water in our local Target.
And it was early. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't even like, it's not even day before yet or anything. So
yeah, but that's good. I mean, that definitely means people are preparing. It probably means that we might be in trouble. But I do want to relay the message. So if you have a fridge that has water coming out of it, that has a dispenser, then you can easily fill all your Tupperwares with the water and store it in the fridge. I mean, I don't think
temporarily though, because at some point
I don't think it's very sanitary. Yeah, but still,
anyway,
it's an emergency.
But luckily, I have 3 days of food rations and packets of water that will not go bad. In case we don't get anything, we'll be fine.
Richie originally bought these rations for our trip to South Korea last year.
Yeah, because I don't mess around with North Korea, and I don't know what was going to happen, so I wanted to be prepared.
Well, they're definitely going to come in handy, perhaps, if we need them this year.
All right, headlines.
All right, so the first headline, we're just going to continue on a little bit of our hurricane talk. So Hurricane Irma does have the potential to hit Florida. And what's in Florida? Disney World.
Yes.
And I thought it would be fun to review hurricane policies at Disney World.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, so if there's a hurricane warning issued 7 days before your scheduled trip, then any bookings for room reservations or MyWay tickets through Disney can be, not transferred, rescheduled. At no charge.
Oh, nice. That's really nice of Disney.
See, yeah, that is really nice of Disney, but they do stipulate in their hurricane policy that if it was booked through a third-party company, they are not responsible for the fees. They are not responsible for any airline
twist
changes that might have to happen. They're responsible for themselves.
That's a twist.
Yeah. And this also does not apply to special event tickets. So for instance, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, that's a special event ticket. You have to buy a separate ticket from your regular park entrance in order to go. And those are not included in the hurricane policy.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So good and bad with that. Also a time I thought it would be fun to mention this fun fact. Walt Disney World has closed 4 times because of a hurricane since 1971.
Why since 1971?
Because that's when it was open.
Oh. See, I don't know about this stuff. Okay, cool.
So, but only 4 times.
Why is 1971 so important? Okay, so only 4 times?
Yeah, and the most recent one was Matthew last year.
Wow.
Hurricane Matthew. So we'll have to see. We'll keep you updated. Also watch your local news channel.
Yeah.
Take precautions, please. Stay safe, South Florida. All right, so, Ricard, I don't know if you remember what Disney Quest was.
No, I do not.
So Disney Quest was a gaming building in Disney Springs. So it was literally like arcade games, and you had interactive experiences where you got to ride like a virtual roller coaster and things like that. Well, anyways, it was very, very outdated. And it was closed earlier in the year, and now it's being demolished. What is it being demolished for, you may ask?
Yeah, I was like, why?
It's going to make way for the NBA experience.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, go on.
So Richie's actually a pretty big basketball fan.
I'm a sports fan.
You're a sports fan
Football,
in general.
basketball, baseball, hockey, cricket, Olympic wrestling,
tennis. Anyways, so NBA experience, and that's going to include interactive basketball experiences, whatever that means. It's supposed to put you right in the action, and it's also going to feature a restaurant, shops, this and that, but it's like official NBA sponsored type of stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's gonna, I didn't see when the expected opening date was, but I imagine that the demolishing of Disney Quest does signal that it's moving forward.
Where is Disney Quest?
Disney Quest is in Disney Springs, which is also known as Downtown Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where the experience will be. Oh, okay, smart.
Yeah.
Good job, Disney. I like that idea.
Which is actually pretty cool because we don't know anything right now about pricing, what that's going to look like, but it's kind of another experience that you can do outside of the parks.
Yeah. I wonder how they made this decision though, because football's a pretty big sport right now, but so is basketball. But I do think that it has something to do with the dangers of football, of why maybe Disney didn't decide to make, because right now I think football is America's sport. Like football, like that's America, right? Basketball is like up there, but it's more of like a world sport, and
Like you can play it in
safer.
Lithuania.
Yeah, and it's a lot safer technically also, than football is at the professional level. So I'm wondering if that had something to do with it, because there's actually people that say that, like in 25 years, like football will be illegal.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know if that 25 years is like a thing, but there are people that think that, because football is so like dangerous and, unhealthy and stuff like that because of the brain injuries and stuff, that it actually one day might be outlawed at some point, which I hope will never happen. But
so would you rather it see more safety precautions? Because people, and I'm not like a huge follower of football necessarily, like I don't mind watching the games, but I've heard big fans say that once they start implementing safety precautions, that the game doesn't become as fun.
It's not as fun. No, it's unfortunate, but I don't know. That's the sport though. Like they have the rules in place and stuff to protect them, but some of them are good, some of them are a little but then it leaves like the objection up to like the referees and like, so it gets weird. But anyway, that's like a whole nother thing.
Okay. Well, probably I'm sure they went to all the major football organizations. Yes, including sports organizations.
Yeah.
So MLB, NFL, NBA, and I bet the NBA put up the most money.
I don't know. I think it's the reverse. I think it's the fact that Disney can make the most money off of the NBA.
Why do you think that?
Because baseball's not huge right now, like in terms of the grand scheme of things. So that wouldn't have worked out. There's not a bunch of people like, ooh, I cannot wait for this baseball experience. Like, no, it's like basketball is like the stuff right now. Like that's the bigger thing. So that's my opinion on that. It's one man's opinion.
Okay, well, anywho, thank you, Ricard, for that sports analysis.
Yes.
So I want to move on to what we're going to talk about today.
Okay.
Which is something I don't think you've ever heard about before. Ricard, what do you think a half-day park is?
I don't know what a half-day park is. I don't know what a half-day park is.
Okay. Well, in Disney terminology, and to Disney fans...
Do you only go for like half the day? Like you show up and you have to leave at 1? The only thing I can think of is, so when you go skiing, they have like a half-day pass, which means you can pay for a ticket, but you can only ski until like 1 p.m. Mm-hmm. Is it that?
Sort of.
Okay.
Except that you voluntarily leave.
So you don't have to leave.
You don't have to leave.
Okay.
So what Disney fans think is a half-day park is a park that you don't need to spend the whole day at to see everything. Mm-hmm. So, like, let's say, for instance, I want to give you an example that's very, very current right now. Disney Hollywood Studios. As you may know, they're undergoing a massive renovation. Mm-hmm. They're adding Toy Story Land, Star Wars at Galaxy's Edge. So they're doing all these changes to the park, but with that comes a lot of closings because they have to make way for new things to happen.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is that to see Hollywood Studios, you don't need to spend the whole day there. Thus, it's a half-day park.
Okay, so what does that mean for, like, people? Like, Is it a ticket price that's half? Like, how does it work?
I'm so glad you asked. Because with this, there's pros and cons to having a half-day park. Do you want the cons or the pros first?
The cons.
Okay, perfect. Because the cons kind of go along with what you were just saying. So, no, it's not a cheaper cost because there's not as much to do there. You have to pay the full price for park entry, regardless of how long you stay in that park.
Okay.
However, I will say this, Disney does have a re-entry policy where if you've already paid to enter that park for the day, you can absolutely re-enter later in the day.
Okay.
Or if you have a park hopper ticket, you can pay for the park hopper ticket and just go around to all the parks that you want.
Mm-hmm.
But brass tacks, if you buy a one-day, one-park ticket, you can only go to that park, and it's still going to be the same cost as a regular park ticket.
So, what's the point? Like, I don't understand. Is this basically Disney saying, "Hey, please leave"?
No.
So then I don't get it.
So half-day park is not something that Disney it came up with.
Oh, so this is like an external thing that
This is like
Disney
a fan
culture.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I thought I made that more clear.
No, okay.
So this is a Disney fan thing.
Okay.
And so people will say, oh, it's a half-day park, when in their heads they're like, wow, I really don't need to stay for the whole day. Like, if I go to Magic Kingdom, I have to be there the whole day. I have to be there at rope drop or when the park opens until the very end. What, they close at midnight with extra magic hours? I'm going to be there until 3 a.m.
Okay.
And I still won't be able to see the whole park.
Yes.
That's
a full day park.
Yes.
Okay.
That is not what you would call a half-day park.
Okay, I understand.
But it's a great example of what, the difference between what a full-day park would look like, where you struggle to get everything done.
Yeah.
Whereas a half-day park is something that all the attractions you can basically see with minimal effort in rushing around or planning or anything like that.
Is Hollywood Studios cheaper? Or is it one flat rate fee to get into every single park?
Here's the thing. At Walt Disney World a couple years ago, they implemented it where Magic Kingdom only does have a higher price tag to get in. But Hollywood Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom, all the same price.
Okay, cool. Interesting. So Disney doesn't term this a half-day park. But is there only one half-day park?
I'm so glad you asked.
Stop saying that.
Sorry.
You say that every time I ask a question.
Because you're feeding into my plan.
Is there multiple half-day parks?
So a lot of times what happens is that parks go through kind of phases where they're half-day parks for some of their lifetime, and then they move on into full-day parks. And so another example that I wanted to bring up about this is Animal Kingdom. So Animal Kingdom, we've been there. We can easily spend the whole day there because there's so much to do, so many things to see, animals to see, food to try, lounges to try, and now with the addition of Pandora or Avatar Land, I mean, you could spend all day in just that one land.
Yeah, because you have to wait 5 hours for that one ride.
So yes, you could spend all day in that one land.
And just lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when Animal Kingdom first opened, there wasn't an Everest. Obviously, there wasn't a Pandora. There was Dinosaur, which is the ride where you go to rescue the dinosaur. Although at the time it was called Countdown to Extinction. Okay. And then they did have also animals and trails to go see, but people really thought of it more as a half-day park because you could do all that without having to do much effort into seeing everything. So it was a half-day park at the time. And over time, over the years, they started building more things and more things. And then really up until recently, it was not considered a full-day park. But now with the addition of Pandora and they have Everest now, you could literally just spend the whole day there.
Yeah. So what are the current half-day parks other than Hollywood Studios?
It's the only half-day park, I would say.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, is that a WDW term, or do they have half-day parks around the world at Disney's?
Well, I'm not sure around the world because I haven't firsthand experienced them.
Yeah.
But like I told you, this is not something that Disney thought of. This is something the fans thought of.
But within the fans though, like, are there half-day parks within fan people in Disney World?
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Because I just haven't had the experience at those parks.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But here today, we're just educating you on the concept of what a half-day park is, and then you can decide for yourself.
Okay, gotcha.
When we go visit them one day.
All right, cool.
Okay. So there are definitely pros to half-day parks, and we kind of went over one of the cons is that, you know, you still have to pay the same ticket price to get into Hollywood Studios as you would have to get into Epcot or Animal Kingdom. Another con I've thought of is that it kind of depends on the type of theme park goer you are. So if you want tons of rides, tons of shows, and, you know, be going all day long, you're probably not going to have a great day at a half-day park.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to think, oh, my money would have been better spent here or there, wherever it may be.
Yeah. But, like, if you want to go to Disney Springs, let's say, like, one day, it would be good to maybe have a half-day ticket to go, like, to MGM.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Hollywood Studios.
And that's one of the pros, is that when you have a half-day park, you can do those other experiences because you have more time to be able to say, you know what, I'm only going to spend until 3 o'clock at Hollywood Studios, and then we are going to go to Disney Springs and do the NBA experience.
Yeah.
Because that sounds super cool.
Yes.
So
Yes, it does.
it's both a blessing and a curse, as what my brother put it.
Yeah.
Because you do have the opportunities to do those types of experiences afterwards.
Yeah,
but at
true.
the same time, you still have to go and pay this ticket, which more than anything, I think the cost is an issue to have an experience for, you know, half the day.
Yeah, that's true. So I wonder if that's probably part of, like, reviews, I'm sure, like on Trip Report. Like, I wonder if on there, you know, people are like, don't go here, like, if you're just going for, like, one day because it's not worth the price, because it's only a half-day park.
Like TripAdvisor, you mean?
Yeah, TripAdvisor. What did I say?
You said Trip Report.
Oh, my bad.
You're thinking about our next Trip Report, probably.
That's funny. Yeah, so TripAdvisor. Yeah, so it's not like the same.
But a half-day park to a Disney fan is really, it's kind of a great thing. There are so many good things going for it. One of them is that you can really stop and enjoy all the details of a park that you might not have the time to do if you were at, like, let's say Magic Kingdom. Because Disney, as you may know, they theme everything they do so very well. It doesn't matter if it's a manhole in the ground that you're just going to be stepping over or spilling ice cream on. It's themed. Everything is strategically placed, and it serves a purpose, whether it's to enhance the theme or for, you know, some sort of a gag, whatever it may be. So even from the shops to the restaurants, everything, you'd be able to experience so much more of that detail. And you can look up and look down and all around, and you'll be able to see it all and enjoy it because you don't have to worry about running around because I have to hit this ride and he's hungry and whatever.
What we need to figure out is what's the standard size, right? And here's why that's important.
Standard size.
Park.
Okay.
For example, so you have the half-day park, right? So you have the, you know, okay, it's only going to, you know, we go here, it's only good for half day because of, you know, the size or because of things that are closed, whatever. Animal Kingdom should be like, there should be like some standards say, well, this is like a 3X park. It would actually take you 3 days to enjoy everything here, you know, or whatever that number, or 2.5, you know, like park. Like, there should be some standard. Disney, where's the suggestion box? Darn it.
I know, you said you were going to have that by this episode.
I did. I forgot. Okay, next time. But yes, this would go in the suggestion box. Would be like, Disney should come up with a standard of, like, it will take the average Disney goer to see this entire park in its entirety 2.75 days.
I feel like that's kind of tough to say.
It would be, but I think it would be cool.
I like how you say average Disney goer, but there's no such thing.
But that's why. That's what I'm saying. Like, the average, like, not the crazy fanatic that will be, you know, looking at every manhole, like, as they walk by. And then not the, like, person that, like, hates Disney because they have to wait in lines. Like, it would be the average one.
But, you know, even with the average one, what if I'm a parent of 2 small children and I want them to experience the animals at Animal Kingdom a little bit longer than the average park goer, but I'm not a crazy fanatic. But I got kids and they need to see animals.
I understand that. Oh, they could also give you, like when you go on the line, you get that little thing. So
they're doing away with that, by the way.
How are they going to tell how long the lines are?
They're going to use your magic band.
Oh, smart. Why haven't they been using that in the first place?
I don't know.
That's so. Anyway, one day Suggestion box. Anyway, I think that you give someone like a band or I guess it could be through the magic band too. Like when they get in versus when they leave, and be like, do you felt like you saw the whole thing, or do you think you needed like another day? Is this your second day here? And then get like an average. That'd be a lot of data collection that they can do. It'd be a cool thing to see.
It's interesting that you point that out, because I feel like magic bands are definitely not to where they're going to be in the future. Like we're just at the tipping point right now. So it would be kind of cool to do something like that. But now at this point, there's a lot of fan sites that do kind of calculate for you, like trip planning sites that say, oh, well, if you want more of a thrilling experience, then it'll probably take you 2 days to see Magic Kingdom or 2 days to see Animal Kingdom. So there are things like that available, but they're not offered by Disney at this point.
Yeah.
So they're around.
They're coming. It'll come.
It's definitely coming.
Yeah. Cool.
So another pro that I wanted to tell you about seeing a half-day park is just the overall stress level of knowing that you can complete everything in one day is actually really relieving. So you're not going to have I have to run around here. Oh my goodness, my fast pass is going to expire in 5 minutes, but I'm at the other end of the park.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to have that as much. You still might, but it's really not going to be as big of a deal.
Yeah. Whereas if you saw, like, when you're looking at a park, you're like, oh my God, this is a 3.5 park. What am I going to do?
I know, right?
Yeah.
You know what I think that maybe they should start doing is doing how traffic maps, how they have red and blood red for really, really bad traffic. What if they did that at the parks?
For lines?
Yeah.
That'd be cool for lines.
Like Everest has a blood red wait.
Blood red wait.
Blood red wait right now.
That'd be funny.
But, I mean, something to think about.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I will say half-day parks are probably more appreciated by the true Disney fan because you can kind of see and experience all these things that you've known were there but never really taken the time to appreciate. So, maybe you're not quite ready for the half-day experience.
Well, I've been to Hollywood Studios.
But you've been to it in a different form. Or how about this? Let me propose it to you this way. Would you like to go to Hollywood Studios if you didn't have an annual pass? Because I made him get an annual pass. He has one now.
Last 3 years.
He has one for the last 3 years. It was a deal breaker. Would you rather go to Hollywood Studios now or next year after Star Wars and Toy Story Land have opened?
Well,
if you didn't have the annual pass where you do have the freedom to just go.
Well, I would probably want to go when everything's there, personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
You're proving my point.
Yeah.
So.
Is that it? Do you got more? Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to subscribe, like us, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. If you're listening on iTunes or SoundCloud, again, subscribe, leave us a like, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And we're on Instagram at DisneyWTF.radio. We're on Twitter at DisneyWTF_radio. And we're on Facebook.
Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody for listening and hanging out with us. We hope this brings a little bit of magic to your day, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.